Unit 2, Conversation. 1.
How often do you see your parents?
About once a week, but we're in touch all the time.
Oh, really? Do you talk by phone?
No, we talk by internet chat.
2.
How often do you see your friend John?
About twice a month, but we're in touch all the time.
Oh, really? Do you talk by phone?
No, we exchange a lot of email.
3.
How often do you see your grandparents?
About once a year, but we're in touch all the time.
Oh, really? Do you talk by phone?
No, I send them faxes.
4.
How often do you see your boyfriend?
About 3 times a week, but we're in touch all the time.
Oh, really? Do you talk by phone?
No, we message each other by cell phone.
Unit 2, Sound Bites. 1.
Marvin, you read a newspaper every day, don't you?
No, I get most of my news from the radio and television. How about you, Gay?
Oh, I read a newspaper every day. I think it's very important.
2.
I think that telephone charges are pretty expensive. How about you, Gay?
Well, they can be, but my telephone bill is quite low. I hardly ever use it.
3.
Marvin, do you prefer to talk to women more than men?
I think I prefer to talk to women more than men.
Why is that?
A more interesting conversation than the way I think.
Oh, I see.
4.
Gay, how much is cable television?
Well, as for me, it's not so expensive. It only costs 8,000 yen per month.
Unit 2, Work It Out.
Well, let me think. First, I'll work out my telephone charges. Ah, yes, here's my telephone bill. I make quite a lot of local telephone calls. According to my telephone bill, I made 90 local telephone calls. Wow. And I see that I didn't call long distance so often, only about twice a week. So that's 8 long distance calls in a month. And each call was an average of about 5 minutes. There is no basic charge for long distance calls or for international calls. Next, international calls. Well, let me see. My sister lives in Australia and I called her 5 times. Each call was an average of 9 minutes and 1 minute costs 50 yen. Oh dear, my sister really does like to talk a lot and I always have to cut her off. Next, let's look at my cell phone bill. The basic charge is 1,700 yen. Expensive, isn't it? I made about 3 calls every day. Each call was an average of 2 minutes. I tried to keep my calls short because it is expensive. I also worry about the radiation being emitted from cell phones. Actually, I prefer to use the messaging service on my cell phone. I sent an average of 8 messages per day. What else do I use for communication? Well, my internet connection is 2,000 yen for the basic charge, but there is no usage charge. I don't use cable TV. Finally, I send about 2 letters every month, usually to my grandmother. She still likes reading real letters. So, how much do I pay for communication every month?
Unit 3, Conversation. 1.
What kind of heating do you use?
We usually use a kerosene stove. It's cheap, so I think it's the best.
Really? I don't think so.
Why?
Well, it's a little smelly.
2.
What kind of heating do you use?
We usually use an air conditioner. It's clean, so I think it's the best.
Really? I don't think so.
Why?
Well, it's a little slow.
3.
What kind of heating do you use?
We usually use a gas heater. It's fast, so I think it's the best.
Really? I don't think so.
Why?
Well, it's a little expensive.
4.
What kind of heating do you use?
We usually use a kotatsu. It's comfortable, so I think it's the best.
Really? I don't think so.
Why?
Well, it's a little small for 4 people.
Unit 3. Sound bites. 1.
Edward, how do you heat your house?
Oh, I use a gas stove.
Do you have an air conditioner?
Yes, I use an air conditioner in the summer.
I think air conditioners are really expensive.
Yes, I agree. Very expensive.
2.
Edward, what do you think about nuclear power?
Oh, I think it's very dangerous and very expensive.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I think that Japan should use more nuclear power.
Really? I don't agree at all.
3.
Edward, do you have any American friends?
Oh, yes, I know quite a few Americans, yes.
And do they use a lot of electricity?
Oh, yes, all the time. I think they have the lights on and they use electrical machines and entertainment things all the time.
So do you think they use more than Japanese people?
Well, Americans use a lot, but actually I must say I think Japanese probably use more.
4.
Edward, do you often take the bus?
Sometimes, yes, and sometimes the train or the underground.
So the public transportation is good?
Around here I think it's pretty good, yes. I'm quite happy with it.
Oh, I never really take the bus. I
Really?
find I have to wait too long.
Unit 3. Work it out.
Well, I use a lot of electricity for a lot of different things. It really is very important for my life. I used a heater for about 3 hours every day, so that was 1.5 kilowatts by 3 hours. That makes 4.5 kilowatt hours per day. My fridge is on 24 hours a day, of course. Otherwise my beer would get warm. So that's 0.5 kilowatts by 24 hours. That's 12 kilowatt hours per day. For cooking, we used a microwave oven for about 20 minutes a day, and a toaster for about 15 minutes. Television, I don't really watch much myself, but my children watch about 4 hours every day. It's hard to stop them. I listen to my CD player for about 1 hour. My wife uses the vacuum cleaner for about 30 minutes each day. We use the washing machine for about 1 hour, the clothes dryer for 30 minutes, and the iron for about 15 minutes a day. Let's see, what have I forgotten? Oh yes, we use the water heater for about 2 hours. We all love nice hot showers. Then we dry our hair with the blow dryer. I guess that takes about 1 hour for the whole family. And one more thing. The computer. I leave it on 24 hours a day. So, how much is my electricity bill?